This is Austin Leeds for ADSR. Please subscribe to the ADSR YouTube channel for regular tutorials and more. Now, for the third tip, I'm going to talk about sidechaining. So to do this, I'm just going to play the kick and the bass together. And you can hear it sounds good. So now what I'm going to do is just open up the Nicky Romero sidechain. And you already hear the space that's being created. So let me just solo the bass on its own. So when you listen to it now, it sounds a little bit unnatural, but then when you're playing it with the kick, it really creates space for the kick to shine through. Let me take this off. So as you can hear, it really creates space in the mix. Now you can customize the sidechain using this plugin, so you can have a different LFO filter setting. To be either shorter or longer. Then you can also play with the mix right here. So let's try a different sound. Let's try the flute. So something like this, you kind of kill the sound a little bit. So you can back off on this. So let's try this. So it's more subtle, but again, it's nice because it creates space. Let me take this off. Now you as a producer can choose if you want it on or not. Sometimes for a lead, you want it to be off and you just let the sound go over the track. But when you're playing everything together like we are now, again, it's these subtle things that happen, but when you have a lot of elements playing like we do, it does help. So let's try this with another element. Let's try, how about the guitar? So even if you do it at halfway, you're not really killing the sound too much, but you're allowing a little bit more room for the kick. So let's just try the guitar and the kick. So when I mute it on and off, when I bypass it, you can hear the guitar come out more, so it's bypassed. Now on. And this just creates more space in the mix. So let's play a few more things. With the bass, the flute. How about the hi-hats? Put this up a little. I'm just going to solo the hi-hat. Now, something like this, you're going to kill the attack because the hi-hats are coming on the same channel, the same time I meant as the kick. So let's play this again. So if we do this, it's not going to be great because we're losing the effect. But if we put it down just maybe halfway, just there, just you can see in the waveform, a little bit of that attack is taken off, which again creates more room for the kick, which is going to make the mix sound cleaner, and it's not going to sound like everything's on top of each other. So I'm going to play the full thing again. And we can even try it with the strings. Open this up. And again, it's up to you to be able to decide. Sometimes you want to have the pad be in the back and the atmosphere clean, but maybe when the beat is playing, you can have it sidechained. So if you want to have it without the kick, so maybe in a breakdown, then you can leave it open. Because you have it on with the sidechain, it's going to create a pumping effect that's going to be a little bit unnatural. So maybe you can have 2 channels, or you can automate this to go on and off. So as you can see, using the sidechain is going to create a lot of great space and room in your mix. Now, for the 4th tip and trick, I'm going to talk about hi-hats and rides and eliminating some of the bad high-end frequencies that are up in that frequency spectrum. So, let me play you the hi-hat in solo. Now open up an EQ, and I'm just going to go to a default setting. So I'm just going to scan through here. And there it is. It's really just a bad frequency. And it's like a resonant tone as well. It's a noisy tone. So let me just take this down. And let me find another frequency as well. Oh, there it is as well. So just to really exaggerate and hear it, let me just play these on and bypass. So again, it's subtle, but you hear that tone that's there, and it really creates a lot of great space by eliminating this for this, so you don't get these kind of nasty high-end frequencies. So if you do want to master and you do want to add a little bit of boost here, you're not getting that harshness in the tone. And I also want to show you this for a ride cymbal, which really comes out. So let me open up a track here, and I'm just going to use the Logic Ultra Beat and just go to a preset which I use a lot, which is the 909 Boutique 909. So we're just going to scan through here. Oh, and we take off the bus. And there it is there. So let's just add a ride cymbal to the track and put it right here. There we go. And I'm going to quantize it. So let's open up an EQ here, and let's see what we got going. So, ooh, would you listen to that? Now, when you open this, you don't really hear that. You say, oh, it's a ride cymbal. I'm just going to play the ride and go on. But when you start hearing that, let me open another one. Oh, Lord. There we go. Put that down. Let's just try for one more. One there. And I'm really exaggerating this now. Perhaps you don't want to kill this much. You have to listen to see how much frequency that you actually want to put down. But now when I'm playing this, I'm going to bypass. Whoa. You really hear that screeching frequency. I'm going to play it again. Clean. So on this kind of sound, rides, hi-hats, cymbals, crashes, effects, always check in this frequency for that high-end resonance that you want to take down. Because if you have rides and crashes and these effects, they're going to take up a lot of room in that high-end frequency, that if you do want to EQ it and make it sound great later on, again, it's going to sound harsh. So really watch these frequencies because they're subtle, but they're really important to be able to eliminate those frequencies. Now, for the last quick mix tip, I'm going to talk about cutting frequencies at 400 Hertz. So let me show you what this looks like. So I'm going to play this again. And I'm going to open up an EQ. And we can see what's interesting about this 400 region. I'm just going to put it up so you can hear what this frequency sounds like. Again, it's that kind of warbly, little bit bassy, resonant. It kind of sounds muddy. And what's interesting about this point is that this is really like your midway point between your low end frequency and your mid to highs. And the amazing thing happens that if you duck this at about 400, so let me just play about 400, you tend to find that your low end sounds a little bit tighter and your top end sounds a little bit cleaner. So let me just play this. Bypass. And again, it's subtle, but when I have it off, you kind of hear a little bit of the kick, the bass. There's a little bit of a muddiness going on. And yet, when you take out this frequency, it tends to really tighten up the whole mix again. So let's just play it. And you do have to play with this. This is just a starting point. It's about 400. Perhaps we can go up and listen to this. Maybe it sounds a little bit lower than that. So perhaps we can dip just around there. And you don't want to do too much because then you really start to lose some of the bass. But maybe just a slight little touch. Just able to open up the mix. And the other little trick that you can do is just boosting a little bit of the air just around here, just around this point, just to make the mix a little cleaner and clearer. And it's amazing when you combine this dipping at 4 and boosting a little bit, you really hear a very nice sound to the mix. Let me play it again and then bypass it. So certainly the boosting of the air up here is going to bring out the claps, bring out the hi-hats a little bit. But this combined with taking out a little bit of that muddiness gives you that really, really nice clarity. So I hope you enjoyed all the tips and tricks. Again, you can use them on any system, and I know that you're going to have a great time combining all these tips and tricks to get your mixes sounding great. Thank you.